I have had my eye on Wuchang Fallen Feathers for a while now. If you're a fan of this channel, you'll know that I have a massive soft spot for Souls-like games, so playing one that is a dark supernatural reimagining of late Ming Dynasty China was very exciting for me. Now, Wuchang is the first major title by Chinese indie development studio Leenzee. If you ask me, the future really is looking bright for Chinese game development studios, with recent quality titles like this one and Black Myth Wuchang and then Lost Souls aside coming soon. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come. If you're after a modern Souls-like title with a few unique mechanics to keep things fresh, then Wuchang Fallen Feathers is definitely worth checking out. If you liked this video, it would help me out a lot to hit that like button and sub for more RPG content coming soon. You could also hit that super thanks or join as a member if you'd like to support this channel even more. Before we get into the review, I'd like to thank the publishers for the review code, and all footage that you see is from the PS5 version of the game. Alright, let's get into it. There is very little that I can fault in regards to Wuchang's presentation. The environments in particular are detailed and vary between each area, with loads of little details around the place that really enhance the experience. Like in this ice region, there are boiling pots of body parts, and this was so cool. The same can be said about the monster designs. Many of the bosses will be human, but there's also a load of creatures that you'll face that have some crazy, creepy designs, which is how I like it. The atmospheric soundtrack also sounded great. It's one of those games where I didn't necessarily notice the music due to how much I was concentrating on not dying, but what we do here really helps build atmosphere when it matters. Unfortunately, I did encounter some performance issues along the way, although this seems to have happened far less for me than a lot of other reviews suggest. I mean, I know it's cold and all, but when it's so cold that it causes short freezes in the game, you know something is wrong. Yeah, this ice area was the only place that I had issues. So, what is Wuchang Fallen Feathers all about? You play as Bai Wuchang, a warrior afflicted by a mysterious condition called feathering. This causes feathers to sprout from her body and threatens to consume her mind and memories. Most people are falling very ill and dying due to this disease, but Bai seems to be handling it much better than most. But still, her condition is regressing and her only option is to head out to find a cure. To be completely honest, I often struggle with following stories from both this genre and from this type of setting, and Wuchang was no different. There is a lot of cryptic dialogue and I had a hard time following what was going on and who was who. Oh, and Chinese names definitely do not help my cause. Nine Sushang, He Yuzai, Fang Yao, who are they again? Long story short, the story is there and delivered through more NPC conversations than, let's say, the Souls series. But I did want more in this area. Wuchang Fallen Feathers was all about the action for me. Wuchang's combat feels really good, but it did take a while to get used to. A fundamental difference between this and other Souls-like games is a lack of emphasis on blocking. Most of the time, it'll be hit at the right time and dodge at the right time, although there is still defensive options depending on your weapon type. There are 5 different weapon types that offer completely different playstyles. Each comes with a basic light and heavy attack and a special attack that depends on the model of the weapon. There's also a slot for a discipline skill that can be swapped through the menus once you've learnt them on a skill tree. There are quite a few of these for each weapon type, and they have the potential to really change up your playstyle. I went with the spear for the majority of my battles. Sometimes I felt that I needed a countering defensive ability in that discipline spot, but at other times I opted for more of an offensive ability. Now, there's a couple of other mechanics that truly help make Wuchang a unique experience. First is Skyborn Might, and this works really well. Through dodging at a perfect time and performing other weapon-specific actions in battle, you'll gain Skyborn Might up to a maximum of 5. This Skyborn Might can be used by either performing magic spells or by powering up your weapon's special moves or discipline skills. Managing your Skyborn Might and using it at the right time is one of the more difficult things to manage effectively, but if you can, you'll be at a great advantage in battle. In terms of difficulty, Wuchang is definitely one of the most difficult Souls games I've played. Many of the bosses can be an absolute pain in the ass, such as Miss Water Dancy Bitch. She seemed all but impossible to take down with a spear, but after changing to a longsword, I was able to deflect her attacks and eventually beat her. I feel like it's definitely worthwhile to be more proficient in multiple weapons, as some seem far more ideal for different types of bosses. One of my favourite things about Wuchang is the exploration. There are loads of things to find and a plethora of optional areas, and this means that you'll always need to be actively looking around for new places to go. It did, however, feel a bit strange that there was no jump option. I think this does limit the potential exploration quite a bit, but I did eventually get used to it. Now, the maps are absolutely huge. The game starts off fairly straightforward, but this soon changes. At one point in the game, there were like 4 or 5 different paths that I could explore, and I loved this. Stuck on a boss? No worries. Just take a different path for a while. But while I really did love that there were so many options, it could get very overwhelming and confusing, and this is mainly in the way that they're connected. You are constantly opening up shortcuts and finding entry points to previous areas, but it gets to the point where it is very hard to get your bearings. A region map or something like you get in Elden Ring would have been so useful, as it would make it way less likely to miss something. Wuchang Fallen Feathers has a few other features worth mentioning. Firstly is the madness system, which has some interesting ideas. Basically, every time you die or kill non-feather enemies, your madness level will increase. As it raises, the damage you give and receive will increase, as will the amount of mercury you lose upon death. At maximum madness, your inner demon will spawn on your place of death, and this will attack everything in sight. Furthermore, additional skills can be unlocked that provide benefits when at high madness, making a high madness build a viable option. This madness system did have some good ideas, but I never really felt that I wanted to make use of it, as keeping my madness low for boss fights seemed way less risky. In terms of upgrades, Wuchang features a massive skill tree that provides everything you'd expect to help you out on your journey. This includes stat increases, healing charges, new abilities in battle, and weapon upgrades, and these will automatically upgrade all weapons of that class. You can also respec for free at all times, and this is very useful when you need to go into boss battles with a slightly different build. Also worth mentioning is that there's quite a few side quests around the place, and these require you to talk to NPCs at different points in time and usually give them specific items that you find. In addition to receiving rewards and different endings, some of these NPCs will agree to join you in certain boss fights, and this makes these fights so much easier. Wuchang has a lot to do and a lot of different ways to do it, and I love it for that. Wuchang Fallen Feathers gave me pretty much what I expected, a solid Souls-like experience set in China with a few unique mechanics to keep it feeling fresh. It is quite impressive what indie studio Leenzee were able to create for their first major title, and I will absolutely be keeping my eyes on them for future projects. The things that I look for in Souls-like games were exactly what I enjoyed the most about Wuchang Fallen Feathers. The combat was a lot of fun with a load of different options and some excellent, albeit bloody difficult, boss fights. The map design was also outstanding. Each area felt so different to one another, and there were often many paths that I could take to progress. It's just a shame that they could get overly confusing to try to get your head around. Wuchang also featured plenty of unique mechanics to help it stand out from the rest, with the Skyborn Might system working particularly well. And while the game does try to tell a supernatural story of the late Ming Dynasty, I felt that it fell short and I was never invested or cared about any of the characters. It's been a while since I played through a quality Souls-like experience, and I'm very glad that Wuchang Fallen Feathers was there to scratch that itch. Have you played this game yet? What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. This was Hellfire RPGs, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you hit that like button and sub for more RPG content coming soon. Alright, see you next time.